Hi everyone, this is Teacher Ria and welcome back to our English video. So today, we will focus on our English 6 quarter 2 week 7 of our English lesson. So it is about relevant information from text heard or information from different sources or sources of information. So learning is a continuous process, even in this time of pandemic. And we learn by reading from different sources we have at home. So let us refresh your mind by doing the activity below. So this is our learning task number 3. In your notebook, you will classify the materials below as to print, broadcast, and online. So you will use the table provided. So the words that you will group according to their classifications are the following. So we have here printed magazines, TikTok, printed dictionary, websites, TV documentaries, TV news, TV movies, fiction books, blogs, online journals, radio news, and e-books. So these words are, you will write these words according to their classification. Are they print materials, broadcast materials, or online materials? So you will draw this table in your notebook. So good luck in answering. Let's proceed to learning task number 4. So, you will read the passage below on chemical and physical changes. So, I hope you are familiar with this because these are the lessons in science. Then, you will compare and contrast chemical changes and physical changes by arranging the information using the graphic organizer that we will present to you later. And then you will identify the differences and similarities. And you will do this in your notebook. So let us read. Chemical and physical changes. Any matter can be changed in 2 ways, chemically and physically. Physical changes do not change the makeup or identity of the matter. For example, clay will bend or flatten if squeezed, but it will still be clay. Molding the clay to change the shape is a physical change and does not change the matter's identity. Meanwhile, chemical changes turn the matter into a new kind of matter with different properties. For example, a burnt paper becomes ash and will never be turned back to paper again. The difference between them is that physical changes are temporary or only last for a little while chemical changes are permanent, which means they are irreversible. You cannot change them back. Physical and chemical changes both affect the state of matter. So I hope you understand about chemical and physical change. Now take a look. These are the details that we have a while ago in chemical and physical changes. So we have here affect state of matter. Next, temporary change. Next, permanent change. Next, do not change the properties. Next, changes the properties. So you will see 2 circles below. So we have here, it is what we call Venn diagram. In the first circle, we have their chemical change. In the middle, we have similarities. And in the next circle, we have physical change. So all you need to do is write the details that we have inside the box according to their physical or chemical change. And you will write in the middle their similarities. the similarity of chemical change and the physical change. So, according to the paragraph that we have a while ago, what are the details that we have about chemical change and what are the details we have about physical change. And then at the middle, you will write the similarities of chemical change and physical change. Here is what we have with our activity worksheet. So, read the steps on how to wash hands properly. Then, while reading, take note of the important details. Complete the sentences that follow. So, the title is First Defense Against Coronavirus, 20 Seconds of Proper Hand Washing. 95% of people don't wash their hands correctly. By Veronica Bravo, Ramon Padilla, George Petras, Karina Zegas, and Javier Zaracina. USA Today, February 19, 2020. Follow the steps to ensure all parts of your hands are clean. Number 1. Wet your hands thoroughly to the wrist. Wetting hands procedures, more lather for cleaning. Water temperature does not make a difference, but extremely hot water can irritate skin. Turn off the tap to save water. Number 2. Apply soap enough to cover both hands. Plain soap is fine. Studies show antibacterial soaps have little additional benefit. Number 3. Lather your hands by rubbing them together, palm to palm. Number 4. Rub your right palm over the back of your left hand, interlacing your fingers. Then, switch left over right. And number 5. Rub palms together with fingers interlaced. Number 6. Scrub the backs of fingers and fingernails in cup palms with fingers together. Number 7. Scrub your left thumb by turning and rubbing it in your right palm. Do the same for the right thumb and left palm. Number 8. Scrub your left palm with clasped fingers of your right hand and vice versa. Number 9. Rinse with running water. A basin of standing water may be contaminated by previous use. Number 10. Wet hands can still carry germs, so dry thoroughly with a single-use towel or air dryer. Use towel to turn off tap. No soap? You can use hand sanitizer in a pinch. Its alcohol content kills germs. Make sure it contains at least 60% alcohol and follow directions. When should you wash? Proper washing reduces the number of germs on your hands. Researchers recommend you wash after using the bathroom, before you eat, anytime your hands are visibly dirty, after handling raw meat, more often if you have a cold or flu, after blowing your nose, after feeding or playing with a pet, after treating a cut or wound, after disposing of trash or garbage. Now let's answer the following sentences. Number 1. There are blank percent of people does not wash hands properly. Number 2. Use blank when soap is not available. Number 3. Blank the first part of hands that you will rub in washing. Number 4. The first defense against coronavirus is blank. Number 5. Washing hands should take blank seconds. Number 6. Using blank soap in washing have additional benefits. Number 7. In turning off the tap, it's best to use blank. Number 8. Use blank towel in drying hands. Number 9. After rubbing your hands, blank your hand with running water. Number 10. Scrub the backs of your fingers and fingernails in blank with fingers together. That's it for our activity worksheet week 7. But we will continue with activity worksheets week 8. So, we focus in English 6 quarter 2 week 8, and it is also about sources of information. So again, sources of information can come from virtually anywhere: social media, blogs, personal experiences, books, journal, and magazine articles, expert opinions, newspapers, and websites. And the type of information you read will change depending on the question you are trying to answer. Different assignments require information from a variety of sources. Therefore, you need to understand where to go to find certain types of information. Let's answer learning task number 5. Compare and contrast TV, radio, or printed advertisements of two shampoos you are familiar with. Using a Venn diagram, note down their similarities and differences. Then, write a paragraph explaining the content of the said diagram. Do this in your notebook. Be guided by the rubric below. So the first, you can see the Venn diagram. So the first circle, we have the shampoo number 1. So any commercial shampoo that you will watch. And then in the middle, you will see the similarities. And then in the next circle, we have shampoo number 2. So you will get the differences of the two shampoos. You will write it on the space on shampoo number 1 and shampoo number 2. And then you will get the similarities of the two shampoos that you watch from your television. So do this in your notebook. So when you do the Venn diagram, you will be guided with this rubric. So on the first column, you will see the features. So we have the content, which is the similarities and differences. And next is the mechanics. So you will get 1 point or 4 if the paragraph is extremely limited in communicating and similarities and differences with no central theme, or spelling, punctuation, and grammatical errors create distraction, making it difficult to read. The next one is you will get satisfactory or 2 points if the paragraph is limited in communicating the similarities and differences. Length is not adequate for development. And in the mechanics, the paragraph has a number of errors in spelling, punctuation, and grammar. The text is still quite understandable. So you will get 3 points or very satisfactory if the paragraph communicates the similarities and differences. And the mechanic, the paragraph has few spelling, punctuation, and grammatical errors, allowing the reader to clearly follow the ideas. And you will get 4 points or excellent if the paragraph comprehensively and clearly communicates the similarities and differences. And the paragraph is free from distracting spelling and punctuation and grammatical errors. So, you will have a total of 8 points. Let's proceed with learning task number 6. So, using any available sources, search for information about cats and dogs as pets. Identify which of the two is considered as the best pet. Note down the details and list down their similarities and differences using the graphic organizer below. Then, write a paragraph explaining the content of the diagram. Do this in your notebook. Be guided by the rubric below. So, you can see this drawing of a cat and a drawing of a dog intersecting. So, this is also one way of doing Venn diagram. So, inside the drawing of a cat, you will write the information about the cat or its characteristic. And then, in the drawing inside the dog, you will write the information about the dogs and or their characteristics. And inside the intersecting lines or drawings, you will write their similarities. What are the characteristics of the dog and the cats that are the same? So you will write it in the middle. So, and then after that, you will write a short paragraph explaining the similarities and the differences of the cats and the dogs according to the information that you get from the sources that you have. So, good luck! So, in completing the Venn diagram about the cats and the dogs, you will be guided with this rubric in writing a paragraph. So, we have in the features, again, we have the content and the similarities and the differences and the mechanics. So, like a while ago, in learning task number 5, we will get 1 point or 4 if the paragraph is extremely limited in communicating the similarities and differences with no central theme. And in the mechanics, the spelling, punctuation, and grammatical errors create distraction, making it difficult to read. Then you will get 2 points or satisfactory if the paragraph is limited in communicating the differences and similarities. The length is not adequate for development. And in the mechanics, the paragraph has a number of errors in spelling, punctuation, and grammar. The text is still quite understandable. And you will get 3 points or very satisfactory if the paragraph communicates the similarities and differences. And the paragraph has few spelling, punctuation, and grammatical errors, allowing the reader to clearly follow the ideas. And then you will get 4 points or excellent if the paragraph comprehensively and clearly communicates the similarities and differences. And the paragraph is free from distracting spelling, punctuation, and grammatical errors. So, in total, you will have 8 points. Now, let's do learning task number 7. So, compare and contrast two laundry detergents from TV, radio, or printed advertisements. So, meaning you can watch it on television, or you can get it from the radio, or any printed advertisements like newspapers or magazines. So, any laundry detergents. And then, you will note down the details and list down their similarities and differences. Use your chosen graphic organizers. You can do the Venn diagram or any graphic organizers that you have. And then, write a paragraph employing the comparison and contrast line. Use appropriate signal words, and then you write your paragraph in your notebook. So, the rubric on the next page will be used in grading your work. So, do this task in your notebook. So, you will be guided with the rubric that we also have a while ago. So, like the rubric in writing the paragraph. So, you can do that in the space provided for learning task number 7. So, good luck in writing the comparing and contrasting of two laundry detergents. Now, here is what we have with our activity worksheet. So, read the text below, then circle the letter that corresponds to your answer in the following questions. So, we have the title here, Philippine Musicality. Filipinos are world-renowned for their musicality. The Filipinos' great ability to sing is now proven in the international scene. But not only in the Philippines known for its talented singers. This country is home to several unique and amazing musical instruments as well. One such instrument is the Las Piñas bamboo organ. This musical instrument is the only one of its kind in the world. It is made up mostly of bamboo. This bamboo organ stands tall with the 5 meters in height, and it has 900 tubes, 94% of which are made of bamboo. The construction of this masterpiece was no easy task. A priest named Father Diego Serra de la Virgen del Carmen, a native of Spain, worked on building it with the help of the people of Las Piñas. He began his work in 1816. It took them 8 years to finish the organ in 1824. The musical instrument is now 184 years. The bamboo organ is very significant in the cultural and historical heritage of the Filipinos. That is why the National Museum of the Philippines declared it as a national cultural treasure. It is something all Filipinos can be proud of. Let us answer the following questions by writing the correct letter. Number 1. How long did it take to build the Las Piñas bamboo organ? A. 8 years, B. 9 years, C. 14 years, or D. 17 years. Number 2. Who made the plan to build the Las Piñas bamboo organ? A. Father Diego del Carmen, B. Father Diego de Vera, C. The people of Spain, D. The people of Las Piñas. Number 3. What was declared national cultural treasure? A. The Philippine bamboo organ, B. The Philippine organ, C. The Las Piñas bamboo organ, or D. The Las Piñas organ. Number 4. According to the passage, why can the Filipino people be proud of the bamboo organ? A. It is famous in the whole world. Letter B. It is made only by the Filipino people. Letter C. It is the only bamboo organ in the world. Or letter D. It is the only bamboo organ in the Philippines. Number 5. Is the Las Piñas bamboo organ the only unique musical instrument in the country? A. Yes. Letter B. No. Letter C. Maybe. Or letter D. The selection does not say. Number 6. Why was the Las Piñas bamboo organ declared as a national treasure? A. It is made by a Spanish priest. B. It is mostly made up of bamboo. Letter C. It says a lot about our people and culture. Or letter D. It is already very old and needs a lot of care. Number 7. Which of the following could you do to best promote the Las Piñas bamboo organ? A. Sending a postcard of it to friends here and abroad. Letter B. Reading a lot of articles about it. Letter C. Taking care of it and putting them in a photo album. Or letter D. Playing a song using the organ. Number 8. If you were the caretaker of the Philippine bamboo organ, which of the following would you do to take care of it? A. Lock it in a room so it will not be stolen. B. Have it checked regularly to make sure it has the proper tune. Letter C. Invite Filipinos and foreigners to see the national treasure. Or letter D. Conduct a regular singing competition where it would be used. Next, number 9. When does Father Jeco start building the organ? Is it A. 1814, B. 1815, C. 1816, or D. 1819? Next, number 10. How many tubes does he use in making the organ? Is it A. 800 tubes, B. 900 tubes, C. 1000 tubes, and D. 500 tubes? So, good luck! Oh, we are finished, guys. So I hope you learned many things from this video. So we have the quarter to week 7 and week 8 in this video. So thank you for watching, and I hope to see you next time with our English video. Please like and subscribe. Good luck and God bless. Goodbye.